What's going on, everybody? It's CryptoVision here, back again with another crypto market update. Today's video, we're going to be checking out PENGU. We're going to be dabbling into a little Doge, right? For those wondering, these are the two assets covered in the Profit Lab series for the exclusive Patreon members. All the, take profit levels, stop loss levels, all those have been updated. So if you're interested as a Patreon member, go check those out. Everything is looking great. So without further ado, let's get into it. So we got PENGU here, pardon me, looking fairly well. We took an entry down low, and it's looking good. It's looking good right now. We're bouncing in between these two channels. And what we're looking for is, let's zoom out a little bit. Let's get a little bit dirty. Let's zoom out a little bit. Yes, this does look a little sad so far. Yes, it does. It looks a little sad. Looks like it wants to, it's another inflection point, right? It's not just XLM, it's not just DGen, it's all of these cryptos, right? Overall, yes, this looks corrective. This does kind of look corrective, right? Kind of, when you do something like this to the downside, it's the same concept, and then you slam up. When you're kind of just drizzling down, you kind of slam up. So what do we need this week? Well, we need this week to be very large. We need this to be a very large week to get out of this. So you closing above this 1-2 area, right? Targeting some of these levels up through here. Okay. There is some good news, right? Some good news. You got a green dot on the weekly Fu Manchu. If you are interested, it is a free indicator. You do not need to pay for it. Right? Some people will charge you hundreds of dollars for it. It's right here. I like it for some various reasons. It has, the bullish momentum, bearish momentum. It has your stochastics. It displays bearish divergence, bullish divergence when it occurs. And it offers areas of, opportunities, possible, entry points, possible exit points based on the red dots and green dots, right? And I do like the weekly. I think the weekly is, pretty updated. If you go on the monthly, you're a little bit delayed. The asset could have already ripped, and then it shows a green dot. Well, of course it's going to show a green dot. It's already up 40%, right? It's probably not the best time to enter. The weeklies capture a more real time, okay, it's about to go, or this or that. So overall, right, the entry was solid in profits right now, which is good. And this daily, you're breaking out of a very long correction. You broke out, you back tested, you're kind of flagging out and ready to go. There isn't a, you're stuck in this channel, right? So the way this channel works, right, CryptoVision works, is we're in the middle of 1, 2, and 105. Okay, we're right in the middle. So kind of if I'm not a financial advisor, this isn't financial advice, but a little bit of risky area to enter. Right, you're kind of in no man's land. Once you get up through here, possible better entry. Once you get down here, possible better entry. Okay, a little bit more clarity. But we're looking for this level right there. We're looking for that. That's the next level that we're looking for, and it gets you out of this. This trend, this downtrend that you've been kind of just hanging out in. So hopefully you can get up through here and start, ripping. That would be that's the idea, right? That's the idea. In terms of the 4-hour, yes, you do have momentum. You get a clearer picture, right? You're getting higher lows on the Fu Manchu, which is nice. Let's get a higher high, which is nice. Pardon me. So it's reflecting a reverse in trend. Right, you're no longer just going down. Let's zoom in here a little bit. No longer just going down. Okay. You don't just go straight up, right? So you're no longer just slamming down. Now you're going sideways. And it's been like that for a lot of cryptos. You've been slamming down, and now you're kind of just going sideways. You're not really going up. You're not really going down. Pick a direction. Typically, when you've been going down for prolonged period of time, and then you go sideways, you change of character, change of whatever you want to call it. Okay, change of whatever you want to call it. So that's the idea for Pengu. I think it's I think it's got some potential. It's just a short-term trade for me. It's I think it has some value for sure, but overall it is a meme coin. It's not, it doesn't have, real world capabilities unless it's, I don't even know. You can plug in whatever you think Pengu can do in your imagination, but in overall just what it's the price action on the TA, it looks healthier than a lot of cryptos. All right. In terms of the 4 hours, so you got that green dot. What about the 1 hour? Red dot, but then you're crossing back up through here. The RSI, the moving average, you're crossing back up. Really, let's try to get overbought. Right? Try to get overbought. Stay overbought for a little bit. Just there's no reason to keep being sad and keep getting oversold over and over again. There's no reason. Like let's cut the reason, right? Let's cut the reason. You had this nice little pullback, a nice little three-way move up, down, a three-way move up. Maybe you come back down again. Maybe you come back down for a three-way move. Then you go. So that could be a possibility. Possibility could be right through here. As well. So those are both ideas. So that's for Pengu. That's what I got for Pengu. Like I said, the weekly is showing a green dot. You are trading right in the middle of this channel. What about the 30-minute? I normally don't use these smaller time frames. Yeah, it looks like it wants to continue. That just dropped. So it looks like it wants to continue to the upside. So we'll see what we get with that. In terms of Doge. I think it's the same thing. No, it does not have a green dot quite yet. Not yet. But it's bouncing. Right? It's bouncing. So that's nice. You got to bounce. You're the most oversold you've been, except for one period. All right, you got a little bit more oversold down through here. But you still bounced. Even with that, what was that? From a low to a high, you still went up 80%. I know it doesn't seem like it, but that's pretty nice. 80% from here. 80 percentiles. You're still making a lower high, but still you're up at 25 cents. So that'll get us in and out of our trade with profits. That'll be nice. So no green dot yet. I came down through here. I was looking through on the Profit Lab series and saw that it was right on this 13-cent mark, 13.1. Right, what did this get to? 13.186. I had 13.120, so pretty close. Took an entry on it. It's doing fairly well. Do we have a green dot? We've had a green dot. There's some indication that there will be some upside, but until you get above your moving average, and there's some EMAs above you too that can act as resistance. Same thing. Like we were just saying, we're gonna zoom into that, but this is nice. You come down through here, you rip like this. Can you get something going? That'd be ideal. Be very ideal. Even if because it already broke out of that, so there's no point of that. So you could use this one. You could use that one like that. We could do that. Why not? But yeah, you're coming right up to this 20. Right up to that 20. That's a 20-day EMA. It just takes one day. You're doing the little bounce before hopefully a big move. Something like down through here. You go down. You're just bouncing little bounces. And then you go. Same thing. You come down, you're just bouncing. This is a bigger bounce. But minus that, right? You're going sideways. You're just doing little bounces. Bounce. You're not really going anywhere. I mean, really not going anywhere. I mean, realistically, not doing anything. You're just going sideways. And that's what Doge is doing. That's what Pengu is doing. That's what XLM is doing. That's what a lot of coins are doing. So maybe we go sideways today, tomorrow. Maybe we come up a little bit. Maybe come down a little bit. Maybe come up. Maybe come down. And then go. That'd be ideal, right? Waiting for a green dot on the weekly chart. All right, we got these levels to the upside. You know, higher levels is at 46 all the way up to 124. 124 would be the highest I could see Doge going to. I've heard people say Doge is going to $4, $3, $4, $5. It's crazy. Some of these marks, some of these targets, right? When you're at 14 cents, it's a little bit preposterous to even think of without any of the levels, right? You're doing the drizzle. You're doing the drizzle move. You're doing the drizzle move, right? You kind of drizzled, and now you're doing the little bounce. And now you're doing this. And yes, there's no volume. There's no volume. People want to say the volume, the volume, the volume. I mean, dude, no freaking volume. Been no volume since through here, so since October 12th, there's been like no volume. I mean, if we want to check out volume, like volume profiles, all right, there's been no. I mean, you got a spike right here, but even down through here, there's nothing. It looks like this area looks like this, and it looks like this. We have a spike or two, right? You got like this spike and this spike, but the rest is pretty tame. You know, you got like this spike, the rest is pretty tame, and then you have the spike. But it all preceded all of that lack of volume, right? It all preceded very large moves, especially down through here. Look at that one, that had like no volume down through there. Got really low in volume, right? We're really low in volume, like really low. Sell side, buy side. No one's really interested in crypto. No one's really interested. Everyone's in gold and silver and yada yada yada, right? Everyone's doing that. No one's really in altcoins. People will say they're on altcoins, but they're really not in altcoins. I don't really blame them. I don't blame them. It's been crazy, but I think they're going to miss out on something really cool, really big. Let me delete this. It's over here lingering. So that's what I got for Doge. That's what I got for Pengu. You know, some interesting areas, some interesting levels to keep an eye on. You know, FOMC is on Wednesday, at least for rate cuts. Right? Expecting rate cuts. This yen carry trade BS has got to end soon. So, but as always, you know, I do appreciate you coming by. I appreciate you and your time. If you're interested in joining the free Discord, it's in the description below. There's a Patreon version, so you could get access to that Profit Lab on Fridays, and then, you know, you get to vote on coins, and there's everything's in the description. So I'd really appreciate to have you. As always, take it easy. Peace.